Yeah, it's pretty upsetting to live in a devolving proto-society, and I'm gonna make a phone call and you'll see what I mean. Here's a screenshot I took December 12th from an email. Okay, email that probably most people in BC. It came from ICBC enews. ICBC at enews.icbc.com. Our 2025 year in review. Rates, rebates, and better online services. We're excited to share the steps we took in 2025 to continue improving your experience with ICBC. Yeah, so that's pretty upsetting, right, to get that kind of beaver shite. And now I'm going to tell you what I mean by making a phone call as a self-actualized Homo sapien who is actually living in reality and is not afraid to want to problem solve, even though I'm not the one that's being paid to be on the job with ICBC, right? So I'm going to call this 800 number, and I'm going to name this what it is, because it is an extortion letter. It says, you must comply because we will do all these things to you if you do not comply. And you have no choice because there is no alternative to insurance in British Columbia. Except that I do have choices because, as I said, I'm a self-actualized, matured man from Earth, a responsible adult, an Homo sapien. I don't pretend to be an Homo sapien as an Homo communia. I'm not like you, the Homo communia. I have self-actualized to become an Homo sapien. All right? That's the phone number here.
You have reached ICBC Account Services. We're here to help. Did you know about our payment plan deferral option?
Call is important
to be able to put it on the road.
Please continue holding, and our next available representative will be with you as soon as possible.
If you have already paid this invoice, please disregard this notice. If you haven't paid this invoice, please pay it immediately using the remittance slip below. You can find full payment instructions at ICBC.com. By the way, ICBC.com is a lazy way to send me online without giving me the specific exact address. Alternatively, you can cancel your insurance policy and pay any amounts owing. I'm not paying amounts owing. You owe me money, ICBC. And I'm going to cancel if you provide me with an alternative to insurance provider, because I do want to be a responsible citizen and have insurance. So the amount they're asking for, by the way, is $403.47. And here's some things where they were too lazy to make the changes. So public servants, path of least resistance for their paychecks. So some things are not options anymore, but they just printed it like this. That's kind of page 2. It doesn't say page 1 to 3. And page 3 is page 4 is actually the same.
Thank you
nonsense.
For your patience. Your call is important to us. Please continue
it does say
holding,
page
and
2
our
on
next
this one,
available
of 2.
representative will be
So
with
the other
you
one
as
is
soon
just,
as
page
possible.
1. The other one is just something to print in the back that they're lazy to make updates about. So I've been on this call for 7.5 minutes. December 29, 2025, this is page 2. If you don't pay this invoice immediately, ICBC may cancel, refuse, or refuse to issue or limit the term of your driver's license. That is a trigger for me, in a lot of ways, if you've been following my YouTube channel. So for somebody that's a more responsible and skilled defensive driver than, let's say, 90% at least minimum of those that work for ICBC, it's kind of offensive to get this. Cancel, refuse to issue, or limit the term of your vehicle insurance, plates, or permits. Seize your vehicle plates and recover plate seizure costs from you. Take any claims payments owed to you by ICBC and pay them towards your outstanding balance. So here's an example of why BC Sheriff would refuse me if I answer their questions truthfully, which I have, is I'm not the bad guy, so they would refuse me. So I could take ICBC
Thank
to
you
court
for
and
your
win, and I've
patience.
documented
Your
enough
call
already
is important to
that
us.
it could be moving
Please
on right now.
continue holding, and our next available representative will be with you as soon as
But to
possible.
be the good guy and a win in court makes it that the BC sheriffs would not want a guy who gets his plates, recovered and seized. Let's say if it is BC sheriffs that does this, I assume it would be. So they wouldn't want a nonconformist that defends his human rights and that follows the rule of law when the government doesn't. They wouldn't want that kind of employee, right? Nobody does in government, right? Take any claims payments owed to you by ICBC and pay them towards your outstanding balance. Take legal action against you.
Good afternoon, ICBC Account Services.
Oh, hi, my name's Martin. What about you?
It's Tony.
Hi, Tony. Tony, just want to let you know I'm recording this. I hope you are as well.
Yes, the system automatically records calls.
Okay, and I'm not recording it for quality purposes because I think that's an unrealistic expectation. I'm recording it for evidence because I received a letter that for me falls under extortion on the part of ICBC. So I'd like to inform your department of it so that you can cease and desist. Otherwise, there would have to be legal matters in the courts, right?
Was there a notice about a closed bank account or something? Or?
No, in the past, I've been interacting with ICBC claims representatives, and I say that I no longer trust them because they're not doing their job to investigate a claim. And so I changed bank accounts until they would either start doing it or ICBC Fair Practices would get back to me, which they never have in multiple attempts for me to give my complaints. So I've changed the bank accounts. So of course, my payments haven't gone through, but I also have not been putting my vehicles on the road. They are on private property and not being used. And I also have enough money in my bank account, as I've stated in a vlog, I do vlogs, to say that yes, when this is resolved, I would catch up based on what I believe is a fair way to catch up without fees that are really the responsibility of ICBC not doing their job. So for me to get this letter, which, threatens things like canceling my driver's license, things like that, and of course I don't have any alternatives for insurance in BC, it's very upsetting. It is extortion because you guys at ICBC, at least some departments, don't want to investigate the claims based on the information I've provided. And there's multiple claims, not just the motorcycle one. I've provided information on another one on my Ford, and the person just wanted to kind of play games with me and eventually said, yeah, you weren't covered on that day on just one of the vehicles. And the reason I wasn't covered is possibly because of an insurance service provider here that failed, or ICBC's computers failing during that time. So if you guys don't investigate it, then I'm sorry, but you are not a trustworthy organization, which is why I've done that, protecting my income from you until we resolve it.
So that part I can't view. I don't have clearance to go into claims, so I'll leave that with Fair Practices to deal with.
Okay, wait, Tony. And if you did get access to claims, they probably wouldn't say what I've told you because, it wouldn't be good for them to say it and then ignore it. But yes, if you can escalate this in Fair Practices, because the fact that they're avoiding me to give my complaints while I get letters like this, again, makes it that this falls under extortion.
I'm going to go on a limb and say Fair Practices probably doesn't know about this letter. I think the letter you received is probably notifying you that whoever was going to update your banking information, that's like the duty of an auto plan agent. I don't think anyone ever made a change. Did you request a bank account information change through your broker?
No, I just want to be sure that you understand clearly. Based on your question, you might not. I have been interacting with ICBC representatives, and I told them in an email, I will now be changing my bank account and not giving you access to the new one. As a way to protect me from you, I told the ICBC representative. I said, when we resolve this at Fair Practices ICBC, you will get access to my income again for maybe paying the entire amount left instead of the payment plan. But right now, this letter is not about a failure of somebody to update my bank account. It's a failure of somebody to interact with me in a responsible way so we can resolve claims and other complaints that fall outside even of the claims departments of ICBC.
Right. Okay, so that is going to be a question for fair practice. I'm going to say that they don't know this is happening on the insurance payment side. You may have advised them that you're not going to update your banking information until they do something. And now, of course, the computer has been told by the bank they're never going to release funds out of your account, and it sent you an unpleasant letter about that. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll put a flag on the computer, meaning it just stops the letters going out. It's just a hold on the insurance letters. So I'll do that.
Tony,
and then you can...
I also don't mind being a responsible person by having a third party involved that keeps the money that is owed you guys in a separate place, to show my due diligence to be responsible. So I don't mind having a third party involved, and it could be maybe a broker with a bank, and say, hey, let's create a place where the money owed is somewhere, and it's not released until both ICBC and myself agree we've come to an agreement. So that means it proves to you I'm not trying to get out of my responsibility of being insured. You guys are preventing me from that because you're not providing an alternative to me being insured, which means you're keeping me off the roads. And to threaten the livelihood that I would get with, a driver's license is also not okay. So thanks for canceling this, but can you put some sort of request for fair practices ICBC that I have CC'd and emailed directly as well and left messages with to get back to me?
What I can do, just so you know, we won't cut off your insurance. I think that verbiage on the letter is on all the letters when they go out of here, but it's you're not going to have your insurance cancel, your license cancel. That would happen to you. The amount outstanding is such a small balance. Now, I put the hold there so no more letters will go out. And then as far as for practices, I've never really spoken to them, but I know how a person can reach them. If I call them for you, they won't talk to me at all.
Oh, can you actually call them and then say, I've got Martin on the line here. Can you start processing his complaints?
I can give you two things here. I can give you a number to call to reach them, and I can give you, do you have their direct email address, or do you have just the feedback at ICBC email address? Which one do you have?
Well, I don't have internet at home. I can't afford that. But I do remember that when I email them, it does say fair practices on it. It's not just a generic ICBC one.
Oh, so you probably have the fair practices at ICBC.com email address. Well, I can give you a number that they can be reached.
When I called a number once, I just got the answering machine, and they said that they're really backed up.
Backed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is I sent my first email a long time before that, and they still don't really want to open files because they're so backed up. So that means, there's systemic issues going on as well, which I guess victimizes more than me, because if there's so many complaints, then it's upsetting to get an email that says, we did great in 2025, and here's how we did great, and you must be very happy with us. and it's upsetting getting an email like that, and then a letter like this, right?
Yes, understandable. So I think they're all back now from, I think what's happening at Fair Practice, I don't know how many...
Oh yeah, there was the strike as well. That probably slowed things down, right? How about you give me the 800 number for them again, and I'll try them again today, maybe. Let me just grab a pen here. Okay, because you don't have a different number that's more direct for them, do you? That the one I would find online?
See what I have and then compare that with what you have. I'm not sure if it's the same or not.
I have to see if I have a screenshot of their number to be able to compare it. But anyways, give me a Fair Practices ICBC.
It's 604.
Okay, give me an 800 number.
Do I even have one? I'm pretty sure it went down over the years.
I'm gonna look at my screenshots to see if I have one at the same time here.
Well, I don't throw anything away, so I know I've got one somewhere.
Okay, here's the screenshot I have. were you going to give me 604-982-62110? 6210?
I have fair practice. 1-800-445.
9981?
That's the one I have for them. And then a direct number of 604-982-6210, 8:30 to 4 p.m. Monday to Friday.
I see 415 here on the screenshot. But okay, so that's the number for them. I'll try them again. The last thing related to your department is it says if you don't pay, you might have these things happen. One of them is collection agency, credit checks, all these things. The hold you're putting on letters, does it put a hold on everything else that is threatened in this letter of extortion?
None of that would have happened anyway. For us to do any of that, the balance has to be, I believe it's more than $2,000.
Holy moly.
It has to be on all the letters, so don't even worry. But none of that will happen. We're not even members of the credit reporting anymore. We stopped that during COVID, and we've never rejoined.
Yeah, but when you say credit reporting, are you talking about the BC collection agency, which is BC Revenue Services? It's a collection agency, and they're not very, they're not very ethical.
Your debt would not end up there. We do use one collection company, but it's not really for this type of debt. It's for tickets only, because tickets is not our money. It's Ministry of Finance money, and it's called General Credit. But I don't know how tickets get out to them, but they're the ones that would report if they've had an unpaid ticket for more than 30 days. As I said, we're not even members any longer.
Okay, last question I have, Tony, because for me, I'm about to do court papers against the minister in charge of ICBC. Do you know which minister is currently the one in charge of ICBC?
I do not. When Joy McPhail left, I got an email about who it was, and I immediately deleted it because it was no concern to me. Let me go in there and see.
Do you know what the department is called, though, so that I can confirm it that way? Would it be under transportation or finance?
Well, I'm going to find that out. Who replaced Joy McPhail? I'm just going to go into Google search.
Okay.
I knew it, but I just...
So there is no way you can actually send any kind of message to Fair Practices ICBC and give them my new phone number so they can call me, eh?
No, you have to take care of that.
Okay, that means when I try them again, if I see that they are also inefficient or playing games, then the next step will be for me to file legal documents against this minister. Not against ICBC, against the minister that will have to show up in court here and respond to why they are not investigating my cases.
So I found on the internet the person who replaced Joy McPhail as the chair of the board of directors is Catherine Holt, Catherine with a C.
Okay, is that a new appointing thing from December? Or?
I think it's long before that.
Okay.
Let me see if it tells me when that happened.
Yeah, Tony, when you finish answering that, that'll be good. I've got all the answers I wanted from you, so thank you. So I don't know if you kind of... Because if she's been in this role for a long time, I'm worried that, EB will appoint somebody else, because what I find is when I file these court papers, I'll have to say, this is the person currently in charge. This is my last attempt to contact their offices in Victoria or wherever. And if they don't comply, I'll file court papers that say that it's still them, even if EB appoints somebody else. It's still them that got my message that didn't do their job at that time. So it'll be a person to person. It won't be me against the government, because that's not as efficient as me getting, a public servant off their bum.
So I'm reading here. Joy McPhail was appointed as chair July 2017 and served until 2023.
Oh.
So this Catherine Holt took over sometime. It doesn't tell me what month in 2023, but that tells me she's still the person.
And what's the name of the department that it's called? It's called Ministry of...
It doesn't really say, so let me just double click on this thing that says board chair. That's all it says. Catherine Holt, chair. Board chair.
But she's the minister of, because if you put her name on the internet, is minister of with her name, it'll state the name. I don't know if it's long or short, but...
There it is. Okay. pleased to chair ICBC's board of directors during the organization, blah, 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 blah. Okay.
Okay, so who you're giving me is perhaps not part of the BC cabinet of ministers, eh? It's somebody that it's more...
she's the one. Yeah.
She's an MLA, right?
Yeah.
That EB appointed,
to
okay.
find her, I typed in who replaced Joy McPhail, and Joy McPhail was the old MLA, correct?
Oh, I'm not sure. But I just want to know what the name of the ministry is. Is it transportation, infrastructure? Is it finance? Is it this or that ICBC falls under?
Let me Google that, okay? Catherine Holt.
I'm running out of storage. That's why I'm trying to rush you.
Victoria. Okay, so she's in Victoria. Let me see if it'll tell me.
If you have a phone number to her office, then I'll record that as well so that I'll know by listening to the recording to give her office a call directly and say, get on this before I filed court papers. And then she'll have no choice to get on it, and she'll have a lot of catching up to do. Even if EB appoints somebody else in her role, it'll be annoying for her. It's snowing pretty good here now, Prince Rupert. Where are you?
North Vancouver.
Mm.
Overview of Catherine Holt has held various prominent roles in Victoria, BC, including CEO of Greater Victoria Chamber of Commerce, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't really tell me the official...
I ask you because this is something that is, I don't know if it's mostly BC it's like this, but if you try to find who's in charge of something that you have a grievance with, it is very hard. Sometimes you think it's this minister or this minister, then you find out nope, and then you try to read EB's letter appointing them and see what it says as their mandate, and sometimes it's just, it doesn't even mention things that should mention the EB letters. It just sounds like, a capitalist kind of mandate. It doesn't kind of show any cultural repair or public service type behaviors. It generally says must serve people in this way, and it's a feel-good statement, but it has no clue about how to apply a strategy that's never applied before, which is why we're in the troubles that we're in now. So, okay, so I'll look it up with her name. You've given me enough information, but if the final thing is do you have a number to her office? Because if you do, it might actually say what ministry it is.
Something came up here. Catherine Holt, the CEO, Victoria Chamber.ca Ministry, phone number 250-360-3470. I'm hoping that's the right one.
Well, the thing is, though, if you're telling me something about Chamber of Commerce, I don't think that would be public servant or government related. Is that private or is that public?
Well, I just typed in Catherine Holt, Victoria Contact MLA office, and it led me to there. Victoria Chamber, CEO, Victoria Chamber.
If you try her name is Minister of, and then search button, what does it give you? Is BC Minister of? And it would maybe be matched for an update by this, January 2026.
Minister of Municipal Affairs. Well, that's interesting.
So we might not even have the right minister.
Well, everything is leading me to believe that it is.
Yes, well, I've been caught in these catch-22s of public servants who, or politicians who pretend to be public servants, but they're all like so vague about who's in charge of what, that it's like probably EB is, working 24 hours a day to kind of help mitigate what he helps to create, which is a lack of accountability.
I'm just going to type in minister in charge of ICBC and see where that leads me.
Oh, yeah. Hey, if you get a paycheck, maybe it'd be the name on the paycheck.
Oh, no, you know what? You're right. It's someone told the minister responsible for ICBC in the province of BC is the Honorable Nina Krieger, Minister of Public Safety and Solicitor General. So Nina Krieger.
So give me the number to her department's office, and I will call. And the only thing I'll do when I call is, are you interested in solving something related to case files with me, or would you prefer I file court documents? But I will, of course, first ask, are you in charge of ICBC? And of course, it won't be her answering, probably. It'll be some staff, but the staff will be recorded, and they'll have to provide me with accurate information.
There it is. ninakrieger.mla.legume.bc.ca. Phone. That is toll-free. I'll give you both. The toll-free number is 250-360-2027. And the other one, if you need it, is 250-356-5013.
So, Tony, this fell under her ministry's information, not her MLA office, right?
It comes up under her MLA office. MLA Honorable Nina Krieger, Ministry of Public Safety and Solicitor General.
Okay, I'd have to maybe call that ministry, but at least we know the name now if I want to do a search of that ministry. And whoever calls me will be able to hopefully not freak out when I tell them they're being recorded. And you did not, so you're a good role model for that. Thank you, Tony. Because I think if we're public servants, I think we should be able to give either a first name or an employee number and also be comfortable with being recorded. And otherwise, I don't think we're a public servant. So thank you for being a public servant today, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Take care.
Bye-bye.